Good afternoon, everybody. Let's talk about the prophetic word again today. You know, the whole goal of the enemy is to draw us away from trusting God. Let me show you what he does. Let's go to Psalm 11, chapter 11. We're going to beginning verse 1. It says, "In the Lord I put my trust. How could you say to my soul, flee as a bird to your mountain?" Okay, let's stop there. David said, "In the Lord I put my trust." And then he starts talking about this thing that's attacking him, this spiritual thing that's attacking him. How can you say to my soul, flee as a bird to your mountain? See, that's what the enemy does. He tries to convince all of us that there is always a better way than God's way. There's always a better way than God's way. If you get in a bunch, if you get into a place that you're backed up against the wall, then you can always go in this other direction. You can flee like a bird to my mountain. You can do it my way. You don't have to listen to God. You don't have to do what God tells you to do. You can listen to the way that I'm going. You can go to the place that's familiar. Look at here again. "In the Lord I put my trust." Psalm 11, verse 1. "How can you say to my soul, flee as a bird to your mountain? For look, the wicked bend their bow. They make ready their arrow on the string, that they may shoot secretly at the upright in heart." See, the intention of the enemy is not to help you out. The intention of the enemy is to shoot their bow and secretly attack you, attack the upright in heart. The intention of the enemy is to separate you from your trusting God so that you could trust whatever the enemy has put in front of you. That is, in this situation, is like being a bird to their mountain, to their way of doing things, to their thoughts, to their direction. And the whole point of them doing that is to destroy you. Look at verse 3. "If the fountains are destroyed, what can the righteous do?" The enemy knows that if he dismantles our faith, our trust in God, and our continual growing in that trust, then he can destroy the foundation of our life and put us in a position that we're useless. It says, what can the righteous do? If we're not trusting, if the righteous and the real believers listening to this video are trusting God, then you can do great things. The Bible says the faith of a mustard seed will do what? Move mountains. An enemy doesn't want you to do that. He wants you to trust in the mountain instead of trusting God that's going to move that mountain, right? So we look at it, it says, if the foundations are destroyed, what can the righteous do? The Lord is in his holy temple, and the Lord's throne is in heaven. His eyes behold, and his eyelids test the sons of men. So you got to understand that the reason why we trust in God is because he is in control. The Lord is in his holy temple. The Lord's throne is in heaven. And then second, he sees everything. The enemy is limited. He is not in control of your life or anybody else's life. We let him control our lives. But God says, if you put your faith in me, then you will not be subject to the arrows of the enemy, and you will not be subject to possibly destroying the foundation of faith in your life. Because God is in control and he sees everything. The Lord tests the righteous, but the wicked and the ones who love violence, his soul hates. Verse 6 says, "Upon the wicked he will rain coals and fire and brimstone, and a burning wind shall be the portion of their cup." So there is a day that God will deal with the wicked. But for now, he is letting that happen because of the wheat and the tares we've spoken of before. The wheat and the tares grow up together, and God is so smart that he's able to fulfill his will in our lives, even if the wicked is around us. Remember that today. For the Lord, in verse 7, is righteous. He loves righteousness. His countenance beholds the upright. Remember that also. We're trusting God because he is in control and he sees everything. Don't listen to the lies of the enemy saying, "I've got a mountain for you to take refuge in," when you have a God who created that mountain. Trust the God who created it instead of the creation. The God who created it is blessed forevermore, Romans chapter 1. Your homework today, Romans chapter 1 and Psalm chapter 11. God bless you guys. Have a great day.